Hi Capricorn and Capricorn Rising, here is your horoscope for May 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, big moves are being made this month, and one of the reasons for that is your ruler, Saturn, will be leaving Pisces and entering the fourth house into the sign of Aries. And this is going to happen towards the end of the month, but this is usually a big shift when your ruler makes a major sign change like this. So it's been in Pisces for about 2.5 years. It's been causing you to look at the world in a more spiritual way, get rid of old belief systems that are not working anymore. And a lot of your friendships and people around you, there might have been some struggling going on. But now Saturn is going to move into this fourth house, and I'll cover that towards the end of the video. But it is a very important time for family, feelings, and foundation. And so this is going to be major. Now you'll notice as we begin the month, we have Venus that's in the fourth house. We have Neptune that just moved into the fourth house. And the last time it was in Aries was like 165 years ago. So that's how profound that is. And we have Mercury moving through the fourth house. So things pertaining to your home, your family, real estate matters, foundation are all key this month as we begin the month. So if you're a rising sign in Capricorn or a sun sign in Capricorn, this is a very general overview of what the month looks like based on Western tropical whole house system. And again, it has to be basic because everyone's birth chart is different. Everyone's birthday is different. So, but you'll get an idea of what's going on. So getting back to the charts here. So Venus and Mercury have been retrograde for quite a while. As you know, we started off the year with Mars retrograde, and that's moving through your 8th house. So the theme of foundation, home, family, gatherings, all of that stuff is on the table here with Venus and Mercury going through this part of your chart. But Neptune being there, it is asking you, what is it that I need to let go of or change or dissolve in some way? So there's going to be that going on for the next 14 years because Neptune will be there for quite a while. And so there's going to be a lot of changes in the home environment with the family dynamics. Maybe you're thinking about moving, remodeling, buying real estate, selling real estate, whatever. This is going to be the theme here. Now, the sun is going through Taurus right now, which is very favorable for you as a Capricorn or Capricorn rising. And it's in the 5th house of love, romance, creativity. And so you're feeling very restless. Okay, extremely restless. And it probably started the second half of April, but now it's even more so restless. Now, one of the other things that's really good this month is there are no planets in retrograde. Okay, none of the major planets are in retrograde here. So this is all about moving forward. And so this is going to give you an opportunity these next couple of months to move forward in whatever endeavors you find yourself in. Okay, so let's start off here. And Venus enters Aries, and it started on the first day, and it'll be here for about 5.5 weeks. It'll be going through this fourth house. Now, Venus is all about socializing. It's all about partnerships, relationships, but it also pertains to money. And so this is going to be a very important month for financial matters involving family, involving real estate, involving businesses that have an actual physical location. And so this is going to be the general theme going on here, taking care of business, reinventing, spending money on business or spending money on your house or spending money on your family. This is all the theme here that's going on. We also see Mars is in Leo in the 8th house, which is also a financial alignment. So maybe you're looking after investments. Maybe you're thinking about buying more property. Maybe you're thinking about remodeling a home of some kind. Now, Venus and Mars will be meeting up around the middle of the month, which is very beneficial. It's going to be a trine alignment, which means something good could come out of this. Okay, so if you are thinking about doing something with a property or home, looks pretty good. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now on the 2nd, we have Venus conjuncting Neptune. So something comes to light involving a relationship, a partnership, a financial endeavor. Again, pertaining to family or pertaining to a business or pertaining to a relationship of some kind. Now, usually these two get together, there could be over-optimism involved. Neptune and Venus can be over-optimism. But on the other hand, Neptune, again, dissolves And so this could be a relationship that looks really great and is wonderful and so on, but yet something's just not right. Or it could be very magical and mystical in some sense in your mind, and then everything looks great. Now, the other thing that this could represent is, because this is Venus, which revolves around beauty, and so does Neptune, maybe you're painting, maybe you're designing, maybe you're doing some art and crafts at home, or being very crafty in some way in an artistic sort of way. So this is going to be very important this month as these two align together. Appreciate your relationships, because that's what Venus and Neptune are all about, relationships. And so you might find yourself deepening a relationship with a family member in some way. So there are many possibilities, and I've given you just a few. All right, so on the 4th, Pluto goes retrograde for the first time this year in Aquarius. Now, ordinarily, it's not a big deal because Pluto goes retrograde about 5.5 to 6 months out of the year. And it's in Aquarius, your second house of income and values. So once again, the theme of money or values and belief systems are on the table now for the next 5.5 months because of the retrograde. Retrograde just means going within or going back. And so this is going to be a subtle feeling. I need to change something about my finances, something about my belief system, my values, and how they connect with other people. That's all it means. And it'll be very subtle. It's not going to happen on that day. It'll be a subtle expansion all the way into the fall season when it goes direct again. Okay, so keep that in mind. Not a big deal. Now, Mercury enters Taurus on the 10th and the 11th, right there, entering the 5th house. Now, Mercury in Taurus is a lot slower. It's about getting back to the basics. It's about processing information at a slower rate. But it is about the beauty and basics of a relationship or a foundation. Mercury in Taurus, like, food and gentle things, gardening, taking care of one's physical self, money matters. Absolutely. Everything about this month, it does pertain to financial matters, because we're talking about Taurus energy. We're talking about Venus in Aries. We're talking about retrograde Pluto. We're talking about Mars in Leo in the 8th. These are all financial alignments that I'm seeing here. And so with Mercury going through here the next 3 weeks, definitely about creativity, spending time with children if you have children, or a project that may need funding or some sort of money that is being expanded upon in some sort of business endeavor. Now, the full moon in Scorpio continues the theme of financial matters. It'll be at 22 degrees of Scorpio. So what does this mean? It's in the 11th house of hopes and wishes of the future. But Uranus is in the mix here. As you can see here, it's going to be closely aligned to the sun. So something is going to surprise you with regards to a friend, an organization, another person, financial matters. So let's say you're working on a house. All of a sudden, there's another expenditure that comes out of nowhere. You're like, oh, shit, I didn't see that coming. That's what it could pertain to. It could be a family member. If it's not real estate, it could be a family member, a business. It could have something to do with an organization, a friendship. Somebody maybe hit you up for money, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of surprises in the mix here. And again, the theme of money or finances is in the picture during this full moon. Now, speaking of surprises, on the 17th and 18th, the sun exactly conjuncts Uranus. Now, this happens once a year normally. It's in the 5th house. So this could be a child that surprises you, or surprise expenses, like I said earlier. But this could be you having surprise innovations, surprise awarenesses, surprise, something creative that comes to life. You're like, I need to do this. This is really appealing to me. So it could be whatever, you're into that could bring this out in you. Because the 5th house is very loving and very adventurous, very caring. But it also could be, a lot of creativity. Like for instance, you guys are young, you're someone who's young and maybe in their 20s or 30s, and you're dating someone, and all of a sudden you get pregnant. A surprise pregnancy, that kind of thing. It could be any of those things because it falls under that umbrella. Now, everything starts to change on the 21st on when the sun leaves leaves Taurus and goes into Gemini right here in the 6th house. And we have a lot of energy in the 6th house with things pertaining to our daily routines, our health, caring for others,
The energy level definitely goes up because Gemini energy is a very nervous energy, so it likes to get things done. It's very fastidious. It could become a little bit more OCD, let's put it that way. And so the sun going through here, it's going to bring in its light to change things that you do on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Okay, that's how you have to look at this. And so this is going to help out a lot. I want to jump ahead and go to the 26th. Mercury will enter Gemini as well, so the thinking goes through the roof with ideas and wanting to do all kinds of things. Just don't scatter your energy all over the place. And the new moon in Gemini also continues to enhance. This could be anything from a new job, a new health routine, changing up your diet, changing up your habits, whatever you're doing on a regular basis. So that you can see there's a lot of energy here in the 6th house that's going to be very active. But let me get to one thing here that I talked about. On the 24th and 25th, Saturn enters Aries for the first time since like 1996. Now, Saturn, as you know, is the great restrictor. It's the sign that represents karma. And as you know, as a Capricorn or Capricorn rising, you have to put a lot of effort into something in order to get rewarded. That's Saturn. It's in the sign of the self. And it's in the house of the 4th, which is the foundation. This could be over the course of the next 2.5 years where you have to put your foot down in terms of your family, in terms of maybe you're building a house and you need a structure and a foundation and you need the organization. You're reestablishing yourself. Maybe you're opening up a business that involves a physical location. So whatever it is, and this has to do with emotions, there's a lot of family dynamics here with this. There's going to be a lot of lessons to be learned over the next 2.5 years with your home life, with your family. This could pertain to like a mother or a father. 4th house represents mother. Saturn represents father. It could have a lot to do with that. Maybe their health is not doing too well, and you have to care for them. I'm just putting things out there to give you an example of what this all means. Okay, so Saturn's going to be here for a while, but then it'll retrograde back out along with Neptune in the fall, back into Pisces, and then in 2026 they both re-enter the 4th house, and that's where things, I believe, will start changing in this area for you. But you'll get a little taste of it as these planets go through this 4th house. Okay, so there's the general overview. If you like what you're hearing and you want to know more, please consider joining my Inner Circle community. Here you can see that I do an extended version of this horoscope, the monthly horoscopes, and I do the weekly horoscopes. Not really horoscopes, but it's an overview, which the members really do enjoy because they have an idea of what's coming up. And then, I also teach astrology there. There's a 6-module course in there. And of course, the big highlight is every Sunday we are on a Zoom call with me, and members get to ask me questions. We interact, and some of the members send me their charts. I, answer questions for them and so on. So it's really a really cool place that, I think you might enjoy. And there's a 7-day free trial. So if you join and you want to look around and see what it's all about, consider joining. All right, so I left the link down below. Have a great month, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.